Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading a multi-character listener by me. So let's get into it. Lyney. The air is cool as the sun dips below the horizon, casting a warm orange glow over Fontaine. You're standing beside him, the city's most charming magician, on a quiet balcony overlooking the sparkling waters. The evening is peaceful, the kind where everything feels just a little bit more magical, just a little bit more possible. Lyney glances at you, his lavender eyes sparkling with mischief. But there is something else there too, something softer. He's been uncharacteristically quiet tonight, his usual teasing remarks replaced by a gentle warmth that makes your heart flutter. You know, he begins, his voice as smooth as silk. I've performed countless tricks, dazzled crowds with illusions, but there's one thing I've never really mastered. You tilt your head, curious. And what could that be? He takes a step closer, the distance between you shrinking, until all you can feel is the heat of his body against yours. His gaze drops to your lips for a brief, almost imperceptible moment before returning to your eyes. It's the most delicate trick of all, one that requires perfect timing, a willing partner, and a little bit of courage. Your breath catches in your throat as you realize what he's talking about. Lyney's confident demeanor wavers just slightly, a small crack in his carefully crafted mask. It's a rare sight, and it only makes you fall for him more. And what trick would that be? You ask, your voice barely above a whisper. Lyney smiles, a slow, heart-melting smile that makes your knees weak. This one, he says, leaning in so slowly that it feels like time has slowed to match the rhythm of your heartbeat. And you close your eyes, anticipation swirling in your chest. The world around you fades into all that exists is Lyney, the warmth of his breath on your own skin, his scent, the way his hand gently cups your cheek, and then his lips against your own. The kiss is soft at first, tentative, like the beginning of a melody. Lyney's lips are inviting and warm, and you feel his other hand finding its way to your waist, pulling you closer, as it feels like the time has stopped now, as if the two of you are the only ones in the world, caught in a moment that feels like a dream. When you finally pull away, you're both breathless, your foreheads resting against each other. Lyney's eyes are half-lidded, a satisfied smile playing on his lips. I've been wanting to do that for a while, he admits, his voice huskier than usual. And you can't help but smile back, your heart soaring. You should have done it sooner, you teased, though your voice is shaky with emotion. Perhaps, Lyney says, his thumb brushing tenderly across your cheek. But I think the timing is just right. You lean into his touch, feeling a sense of contentment that you've never known before. I think so too. Lyney chuckles softly, pressing a light kiss to your forehead. Maybe next time I'll have the courage to surprise you. But for now, this was perfect. You finished his sentence for him, your voice filled with affection. And as you stand there in the fading light, wrapped in each other's arms, you know that this moment will be one that you will cherish forever. Freminet. Freminet walks beside you, his hand brushing against yours every so often, a silent invitation that he's too shy to extend outright. You have known him long enough to understand the quiet language of his actions. The way he glances at you from beneath his tousled hair. The way he leans just slightly closer whenever he talks to you. It's in these small actions and those small moments that you find the depth of his affection, even if he does not always have the words to express it. Freminet, you say softly, breaking the comfortable silence between you. He looks at you, his pale blue eyes wide with curiosity. Yeah? There is a vulnerability in his gaze that makes your heart ache with tenderness. Freminet, with all his quiet strength and gentle demeanor, is someone who feels very deeply, but doesn't really show it. You take a deep breath, feeling the cool ocean breeze against your skin. There is something I've been meaning to ask you. He tilts his head slightly, the softest smile tugging at the corners of his lips. And what is it? You stop walking, turning to face him fully. The waves lap at your feet as you gather the courage to voice what's been on your mind for days. Have you ever thought about what it would be like to kiss me? Firminet's eyes widen in surprise, and for a moment you think you've pushed him too far. But then a faint blush spreads across his cheeks, and he looks away, his hand reaching up to scratch the back of his neck nervously. I have, he admits, his voice barely audible above the sound of the waves. But I didn't know if you would want that. Your heart skips a beat at his honesty. There is something so endearing about the way he stumbles over his words, as if he's afraid of saying the wrong thing. You step closer, your fingers brushing against his arm, and he looks back at you with a mixture of hope and uncertainty. I do. I've wanted to for a while now. Ferminet's breath hitches, and you can see the way his mind races, weighing his next move. Slowly, he lifts a hand to your cheek, his touch feather light, as if he's afraid you'll pull away. But you don't. You lean into his hand, offering him the reassurance he needs. He hesitates for just a moment longer then, before leaning in, his lips brushing against yours in the softest, most tentative kiss. It is gentle, like everything about him, filled with quiet affection that makes your heart swell. His lips are cool, tasting faintly of salt and the sea, and the kiss is over almost as soon as it began. When he pulls back, his eyes search your own, looking for any sign that he might have done something wrong. But all you can do is smile, your heart racing with the realization of what just happened between you two. Was that okay? Freminet asks, a hint of uncertainty in his voice. It was perfect, you whisper, leaning in to press a soft kiss to his forehead, just like you. His blush deepens at that, but a shy smile tugs at his lips. He wraps his arms around you, pulling you into a warm, comforting embrace as the sun continues its descent into the horizon. And as you stand there together, the world around you too fading into the background, you know that this moment, this very day where you had your first kiss, will be etched into your heart and your memories forever, something never to be forgotten.